I think that going forward, this will be the best version of Chimera that you can play ever. And there's a few reasons for that. I think one of them is a meta shift. The matchups of pure branded Chimera are not so favorable anymore, with decks like Unchained being okay, Tearlaments and Rescue Ace just being too difficult. You don't want to put cards in the grave. And what the Runic engine provides is a stronger grind game, more recursion, and the ability to actually deal with those decks in a much better way. So what we want to do today is go over my list for Runic Chimera. A lot of you have been asking this in the comments, but first, before we do that, check out my field center with Chainlink TCG, 100 serialized one-of-a-kind copies available. It's almost sold out, so do yourself a favor if you want to pick this up. This is probably the last time I'm going to show this in the video because it's going to be sold out next time. Check it out. Link below. Support me through my sponsors. Let's begin. Right. So this is going to be an interesting list. We are, of course, playing 3 Cornfield Kotal and then 3 Mirror Swords Knight. This is the basic engine of the deck. It doesn't really change ever. The only change that I have in my list is actually 3 Berfomat. The reason why I'm playing 3 Berfomat is similar to one of the good things about Berfomat when you play cards like Fenrir or Nibiru is that you can actually tribute summon it. You don't really need your normal summon for anything else. This is your best normal summon, and just special summoning a Runic, for example, a Hugin, discarding a card, tribute summoning Berfomat, adding 2 cards to hand, it's just so much advantage. So you can definitely allow yourself to play 3 of this in this build, and then we're playing 2 Gazelle. You just don't need as many Gazelles. You also don't have branded fusion, so you're not immediately sending one of them to the graveyard, so it kind of makes sense. And then we're playing Master Tau the Chanter, a new card from Age of Overlord. Basically what it does, it also cannot be destroyed by battle and cannot destroy by battle, like all the other illusions. But the cool thing about Tau is that if it's sent to the graveyard, you can special summon an illusion, except for itself, and then it locks you into illusions from the graveyard, which doesn't really matter because you don't special summon from the graveyard anyway. And this is really good because it's a good discard off of Hugin to search the field spell. You just discard it, it's sent to the graveyard, you summon your Mirror Swords Knight, you continue or start your combo. This is very, very good, an additional body, just really great. And then Nightmare Magician, I did decide to play this. This is a pure illusion deck, which I just love the flavor of everything, how everything looks. Just, you can't deny this is very cool to like be excited about a new archetype or a new type, monster type in general. The reason why I added Nightmare Magician is the field protection. This card protects your field because you don't have a battle phase. You really need to wall up and have good monsters on the board besides your Runic spell. So if an opponent's monster tries to battle this card, of course you can protect it with the other Chimera effects, but it just removes monsters, takes them away, adds them to your field to be used as fusion material again. So I think, especially in combination with Tau, you can discard it, then discard this one, special summon the Nightmare Magician, it's really good. We have 2 Chimera Fusion for the engine. You don't really need 3. You want to maximize on the Runic part of the deck. You don't actually need 3 because, again, you can recur it. And recursion is the name of the game because we are playing, first of all, we're playing 2 Edgem Chain, 1 Patchwork, 1 Poly. This is very good, again, because of Runic. Runic makes just good discards. You want to have good discards for Hugin, and Edgem Chain is definitely one of them. You get an untargetable Guardian Chimera, which is really hard to out. And then I am playing 2 Keldo and Medora, one of each, of course. Again, good discards, good fusion materials, recur your engine, which usually runs out really quickly. The thing that is the most problematic for me, and there's another card here to address it, and I have seen it in other places as well, but I've been testing it really since the beginning, is that your engine runs out really quickly. By the end of turn 3, if you started, you usually don't have much engine in the deck, besides like 1 Kotal, for example. So these, besides being really good in the format, recycle your own cards and deal with things like Unchained, Pearly, Tearlaments, Rescue Ace really, really well. Basically just free. And then these are the monsters in the Chimera engine of the deck. Runic engine is relatively straightforward, what you would expect from a Runic engine. We're playing 16 Runic quick plays in general. 3 tip, 3 freezing curses, 3 Destruction, 3 Slumber, 3 Flashing Fire, 1 Dispelling, and 1 Pot of Avarice. This is again something that have seen play in Chimera. For the same reason, like different people testing out the deck have identified the problem that your engine just runs out, and that's fine because it is a good draw anyway. Recycles your runic cards, specifically the runic monsters, of course, your Chimera engine in terms of monsters, the fusion brings them back into the deck. And I think this is really good. I've seen people play this at 3. I think 1 is definitely fine, right? But I think just Runic as an engine is extremely unlimited at the moment, right? Like Runic Fountain is broken, and this deck can just grind, like probably no other currently. We have a pretty tight extra deck. We have some flexibility, so consider like when you're testing to change ratios as you need. This is what I've been testing with and the ratios that I ultimately ended up on. So we have 2 Hugin. Usually most Runic decks play 3. I wanted to play a bit more of the Beast engine in the Runic deck because they're just good as fusion material. They unblock a lot of your plays, and they're just really, really good cards. This is why I play 2 Gary, and specifically because it is a level 4, right? So with this and your Mirror Swords Knight or Gazelle, you can make basically free, just 1 normal summon rank 4 monster with Gary, and then you can continue playing with Runics because you clear up your extra monster zone. So, and again, it's a beast. Freki is a beast as well. You could replace this if you're going to an actual tournament with Munin, probably for the time. And then Sleipnir, another beast, another good effect, clears your board and your opponent's board, is like a Runic Little Knight, basically. That's what the effect does. And then for the other fusion cards, we have Dragos Tepelia, 2 Guardian Chimera, 2 Chimera, the King of Phantom Beasts. I'm not playing the big Chimera, and I'm not playing the new Berfomet. There is no real need for them in the deck, in my opinion, because you have more important resources to get to that just provide more value. Like going for the big Chimera is usually an OTK tool, and you don't really go for OTKs in this deck. You have a lot of other ways of doing that if you do decide to do that. Magnum, and then for your good, very good, just generic extra deck engine, Dweller against those tier players, Baguska against Branded, this deck against a lot of other decks. This card is really good, and basically, again, a Runic spell plus your Chimera engine equals 1 of these if you need to. And then SP Little Knight, honestly, you could play 2, right? If you can afford it, if you want it, you could definitely play 2. What makes SP Little Knight so strong in Runic decks in general, and we haven't really seen that up until now, is that you get these fusions for free, which makes Little Knight gain the extra effect of being summoned using fusions. It doesn't lock you, right? Berfomet can lock you at a later stage, but again, Little Knight being such a strong card, probably the best card in the game today, really shines in this deck because of the ability to use fusions, and of course we can recur it as many number of times as we want. So this I've been testing it for a while. It's been doing good. It's a really, really fun deck to play, and it feels really, really strong. I think whenever a Runic engine becomes viable, you can just feel how strong it is. And it's pretty much unreasonable how strong the Runic engine is. So leave your thoughts below on the build. Let me know if you have any more ideas on how to play Runic Chimera. Share your builds over on Discord. We have a channel dedicated for sharing builds, sharing information. Go over there. The link is in the description below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, turn on notifications. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.